সাংবাদিকদের মুখোমুখি হয়েছেন রাজ্যপাল সিভি আনন্দ বোস, সরাসরি নজর রাখছে সেদিকে।
Function independently. Having said this, I would like to make it very clear. My visit to the field has convinced me that there is violence in certain pockets in West Bengal. There is the manifestation of what may be called the politics of murder, the politics of intimidation, the politics of muscle flexing. Who is responsible for this is not my priority now. My priority is the fact that violence exists. People in some pockets at least are scared of the goons and the lawbreakers. That is a fact which has to be addressed. What did I see? I saw murder. I saw intimidation. I saw heinous crimes heaped upon innocent people. This is in certain pockets which I visited. To be specific, I went, yes, this is Basanti, Canning, Bangar, Kuch Behar, Dinihata, Sitai, Siliguri, then Darjeeling and Kalimpong I visited. In Kalimpong, there is a place which once was notorious for violence. Now for the last so many years, violence has been curbed there. I wanted to study that model, how that could be brought about. Then of course, as a part of the visit to the field, basically for communication with the common man, I could also visit Diolo, then Mala Bazar, Mission Hospital, Dinihata Hospital, PK Shah Hospital. These three hospitals, I went and visited persons who were injured and also made arrangements for the medical treatment and tried to do some confidence building among the poor people. I have made my own assessment of the situation.
Sir,
I have arrived at my own inferences. I also have my suggestions on how to stem this tide of violence. You know, the fire has been set. We should see that the fire does not escalate. The fire does not spread. We have to douse the fire. That is possible. The fire of violence, how is it possible? It is possible in many ways. First, there is a Constitution of India which envisages free and fair elections. Implement the Constitution in letter and spirit. Number two, which is very important, the High Court of Kolkata has given an order in no unequivocal terms what are the specific steps that are to be taken to ensure there is free and fair election, and more important, to make people fearless and uphold the dignity of the citizens. Implement the High Court order in letter and spirit. Here is where I have to be cautious. The State Election Commission is responsible for holding the election in a free and fair manner. I have no reason to distrust the State Election Commission. I still believe that the State Election Commission will rise to the occasion and will certainly implement the High Court order in letter and spirit and ensure that violence is curbed and the ecosystem is built up where the voter can go and freely cast his vote. For this, what are the actions to be taken? I have 5 points, specific points, which
সাংবাদিকদের মুখোমুখি রাজ্যপাল সিভি আনন্দ বোস।
etiquette demands, proprietary demands that my constitutional colleague is given the freedom to act according to his conscience and according to his sense of right and wrong. That will be given in confidence to him, and I have made my own assessment about who are the gang leaders who are behind this. Yes, it is for the investigating agencies to establish their complicity or involvement. But as a person, as a senior citizen with the experience of 45 years in public administration, I am convinced who are the gang leaders. That is also something which I will share with the competent authorities in confidence. I will wait for 48 hours. This is an ultimatum. We know election is a time-bound affair. You know the date of election has already been announced. That is why 48 hours I will wait to see what action the competent authorities are taking within the constitution, within the mandate of the High Court judgment in 48 hours. Based on the quality of the decision making, I will give my report card to my masters, that is the people of Bengal. I have a commitment to them. This commitment stems from the Constitution. It is under the Constitution that the governor has been appointed. Who framed the Constitution? The Constitution was framed by we, the people of India, who gave this to ourselves. And number two, the oath which I took while I assumed office as the governor of the beautiful state of West Bengal. First part is that I will defend the Constitution of India. Second part, I will work for the well-being of the citizens of Bengal. Under these mandates, I will give my report card to the people if my observations to the competent authorities are not implemented by some reason in letter and spirit, because it's up to them. I cannot dictate terms to my constitutional colleagues. They know their responsibility. They are intelligent people, and I stress during election the primary responsibility to see that election is conducted in a free and fair manner rests solely with the State Election Commissioner. I appointed the State Election Commissioner, verifying his track record. He is a competent officer, and I trust that his competence will be brought to bear upon the electoral system. Yes, the election machinery has to be kept well oiled and fighting fit. I think this will be done. To sum up, yes, this sad chapter of violence should end, will end. People will stand together and see that it ends. This violence which I notice are isolated in certain pockets. Even one drop of human blood is important. So that it is confined to certain pockets does not mean much. But I, as governor, will not give a statement that there is widespread violence in the whole of Bengal. We have to segregate the pockets where violence is there. We have to segregate the perpetrators of the kind, the gang leaders. I think this is going to be a new beginning where all stakeholders come together. Violence in elections in Bengal will become a thing of the past. We will be able to go to fresh routes and pastures anew. Thank you.
Sir, one question. Leader of opposition, Mr. Shubhendu Adhikari, urge you to take the 355 article file to Delhi directly so that these violences comes to an end. Yeah.